Hi, everybody. It's Mike Donohue. We've got a great show this evening. None other than the Mayor of Middle Township, my brother, Tim Donohue. Joining us here in a moment, I just want to let you know we're going to have several local elected officials on this week talking about their response to COVID, how it's been working for them, how difficult it has been, and I'm sure it has been pretty difficult to deal with. We're going to hear from Tim here in a moment, forcing me to put my glasses on so I can work my studio. All right. Here we go. All right, there he is, Tim Donohue. You are now on the screen. You can hear me okay, right?
I can hear you great. Good evening, everybody.
All right, so first of all, tell me a little bit about your family. You're an only child, I understand.
In my dreams, I'm an only child, but in reality, I'm one of the seven. You know the rest of the story.
Yeah, they saved the best for last. This will be the greatest interview since the Cuomo brothers about a week ago. So, all right. So first of all, you're the mayor of Middle Township. Tell us about Middle Township. Geographically, where is it? How big a town is it? Tell us about that.
Middle Township is basically the heart of Cape May County. It's the county seat, the home of most county buildings and county services, the home of the only hospital in the county, the home of major shopping in the county, and the home of about 20% of Cape May County's year-round population, about 19,000 year-round citizens. We have about 20% of the population, about 6% of the tax rateable base. So
it's a big town. It's got a lot of people in terms of Cape May County. And you've been dealing now for several weeks with the response to the coronavirus, COVID-19. Tell us a little bit about how that's been going.
Well, I think in hindsight, we all realize now just what a big deal this is. But in the beginning, we were all a little bit skeptical of what steps do we need to take, how far do we need to take them. But after maybe a week of talking about it, our consensus as the governing body and as our leadership, our administrator, Kim Krause, and our chief of police, Chris Lusner, we decided to err on the side of caution and to take some of the more extreme steps that were being recommended because, people thought we were going to look like fools. And I said, look, if we look like fools in a couple of weeks, I'll be the happiest fool in the world. But that hasn't proven out. And to this time, we sort of have come up with a hashtag. We call it 72 square. Middle Township is 72 square miles, and every decision we make is going to be about promoting the safety and welfare of the people that live within those 72 square miles.
So what have been some of the challenges that Middle Township has faced specifically? I know I've been talking to a number of the mayors, and there have been different challenges, say, for the barrier islands and some of those issues with the beaches and the boardwalks. What specifically in terms of Middle Township have you been dealing with?
Well, for us, we have, first of all, a very large school system. We have a large police department. A lot of towns don't have police or have small departments. We have a large workforce. So it's a little bit more for us to manage. We're lucky to have one of the best police chiefs in the state. But, taking into account how do we continue to deal with the public, continue to provide good services, while at the same time protecting our employees and protecting the welfare of the public. So what do you find is the simplest things that you would do on a given day in government now become very complicated.
You also have shopping centers, right? I mean, the main shopping centers in the county are in Middle Township. Has that been a challenge in terms of social distancing and everything else?
Well, it absolutely is. And even when you have all these people that come down here, whether it's from PA or people that are coming from North Jersey, if they're staying on the barrier islands, they're still doing all their major shopping, generally in Middle Township. We have the Acme coming out of Avalon. We have the main Acme courthouse. We have the whole shopping complex in Rio Grande. And if you've been in those stores in the last few weeks, I wouldn't say it's a summer weekend, but it's definitely, you've noticed a huge uptick in business and a lot of out-of-state cars. And that makes the locals very jittery.
So what do you want to say to those folks who are coming here from other places?
Look, to the people that come here, look, we grew up in Stone Harbor. We have a ton of friends that we call them shoobies, but it's affectionate. We know that they're the lifeblood of our economy. we certainly want them. We love them, and they want them to love us back in a few months. Okay. We need to take a pause. We need for them to stay home. We're willing to commit to stay home here. Look, I get it. If the main outbreak of the virus was in North Cape May, and I had a house in the Poconos where nobody was sick, my inclination would be to grab my family and go. I get it. But there's a lot larger social responsibility here that we all have to assume. And people, I think, on the whole, are taking that. And it's also a posture of the business community at large. I mean, I was shown a social media posting today for an Airbnb rental in Ocean City, and it said, social distancing in style, come to the shore.
Yeah, that's I hadn't heard about that one. That's out there. That's the kind of thing we're up against, I guess. I think, absent a directive, a state of emergency type directive from the governor's office saying that you cannot travel into Cape May County unless you live in Cape May County, I guess we're just going to have to continue to deal with it. I understand you had, and a couple of towns did last Friday night of social distancing. Friday night front porch. I saw some great pictures from that. Tell us about that.
Well, as we, I hate the concept of social distancing. I think it should be called physical distancing. We need to stay physically away from each other. Humans are social animals. We can't survive without social interaction. So I never liked that phrase from the beginning. So we need to find ways to keep in touch, to keep that sense of community alive while we still protect each other. And I think there's a ton of ways to do it. I've seen examples from all over the country. I saw a great one today where a whole bunch of people from one town drove to the hospital. They all parked their cars in the parking lot and just got out of their cars, beat their horns, and gave the hospital staff a standing ovation. And then they all got in their cars and drove away. I thought it was awesome. There's a lot, it's just a new way of thinking. But, with all the social media that we have, we can keep these ties. We really can. It's a matter of effort. And I couldn't believe the response that I got to that silly little idea of the porch happy hour.
It was great. It was great. We did in Dennis Township too. It was great. Everybody was looking, I think, for an outlet. Everybody is so frightened on a certain level and just frustrated they can't see their friends and hang out. And I think it was a great thing to give people that kind of outlet in a very healthy way. And everybody stayed away from each other but saw their neighbors for a change. Let me ask you this. You have a lot of small business owners in Middle Township. How are they making out?
Well, depending on your business, to varying degrees, some people are still operating. We have a lot of people in construction. They're still working. Landscapers for the most part are still working. A lot of people that work in healthcare. Fortunately, people that work in government are mostly working from home. But let me tell you, Middle Township, our employees are working hard. They're really working hard to find ways to get their jobs done and to maintain those services. When I hear people saying, well, they're all sitting home and getting a paycheck, that's not true. But certainly a lot of businesses are struggling, especially retail. All we can do is try to support them the best we can and be there for them when all this is over. When it comes to these rental properties, I said, everybody is trying to do their part, be socially responsible. Everybody's sacrificing to a certain degree. And if people are going to go out and rent these properties and try to make a quick buck, they could blow up the whole concept. So we're really imploring people to just assume that personal responsibility, care about your neighbors a little bit more, because, you may take a shorter term hit, but if we all suck it up now, I think in 4, 6, maybe 8 weeks at the outside, we're out of this and we're on to a summer season. But if we're not willing to do all that and make those hard sacrifices right now, we could lose the entire summer. And that's a very, very scary proposition.
Well, look, I think this is great. I think people are looking for information. I get that sense in talking to a lot of people. Well, talking to a lot of people electronically for the most part. I'll give you a moment to take us out. And if you have a message for your citizens there in Middle Township, the time is yours.
Look, we're here for our people. We're working hard for our people. I think they understand that. I love Middle Township. I'm so proud of the way they responded in the last few weeks. We have, somebody asked me about America today, and it certainly applies to Middle Township. We have the most caring, self-sacrificing, innovative, hardworking people in this country. And certainly, our town's a microcosm of that. So we're in this together. We're not panicking. We know we'll get through it together and come out stronger on the other side. When it comes to Middle Township and our employees, they're doing an outstanding job. And we really, really have worked very hard, I think, and frankly, I would think we're leading the way in Cape May County as far as public information from a municipality. We'll continue to do that. I think there's no such thing as too much information right now, as long as it's good information. And we're going to keep working hard to do that every day. So we're sticking together. We're going to get through this, and we'll be here every day.
All right, hang in there. Hang in there, brother. This is
right.
Middle Township Mayor Tim Donohue with us on the Mike Donohue Show, talking about Middle Township, New Jersey, where he's the mayor, and the challenges they're facing there in the midst of the COVID crisis. So good luck. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, brother. Keep up the good work.
All right. That'll do it, folks. Take care. Talk to you soon from the Mike Donohue Show.